G'day. I can't believe it's been 4 years since I did the unboxing of the FFalcon, someone designed that with a stutter, TV. This video isn't about saying, hey look, I've got a new TV. In fact, there's a couple of parts I'd like to add to it, but I'll make a future video about those things. And those topics are planned obsolescence and, more importantly, I guess, the Australian consumer law. Anyway, I will make videos about those separately rather than jumble it all together. Long story short, just over 4 years ago, I had the other TV, which was a 65-inch TV, which replaced a Panasonic 50-inch plasma, which lasted for well over 10 years. Unfortunately, Panasonic doesn't make TVs anymore. The light went out. So long story short, even though the previous TV was out of warranty by 2 or 3 years, or 1 or 2 years actually, I approached the store manager, shout out to Mitch at JB Hi-Fi, about this fact. He initially said, well, I'd consider myself lucky if I got 4 years out of a TV like that. I, however, don't. It wasn't a cheap TV. I mean, it was around $800 if I recall. But in my mind, it should have lasted longer than 4 years. Anyway, long story short, and I'll go into this topic on another video, as I said, ended up, I went in, I'd narrowed it down by looking at all the things online, and I thought I'm definitely not going to buy another same brand, which is also TCL. Look, for what it was, the FFalcon was okay. The amount of times I had to reboot it, however, over those 4 years was quite a few, because the thing would just seize up. When I was exploring my options about should I buy another TV, brand new, a used one, or even rent one, I did contact the service agent for TVs like FFalcon TCL, and they actually told me before they even looked at diagnosing it, they knew straight away it was the entire panel had died, because it happens all the time. So there you go. Not a fixable item, not viable to even look at getting it repaired, because it was stuffed. So I went into the store to make my final choice, and where they have all the TVs next to each other on display, I'd almost thought, well, Hisense, you know, apparently they've improved. But then I saw all the TVs next to each other, and the LG was like astounding quality. So I went that way. Almost went Samsung, almost as good, but LG gets the better rating, and it's more natural, and I'm blown away by the natural skin tones and everything on this TV. Of course, it's infinitely variable like most TVs. You can tweak everything, which is what I did. And the deal that Mitch offered me was basically, it's close to 50% off retail. This TV wasn't cheap, put it that way. But as part of it, he threw in free delivery because it's 75 inches, which is quite big. And normally I would unpack everything and set it all up myself, but as part of what he threw in, it included installation. So I thought, okay, this time someone else can unbox and hook it up. In that time I had to modify things quite a lot, even further than you'll see on the video. There's something to bear in mind when you get a large TV. Make sure you've got a cabinet or somewhere to stand the TV that will actually support it, because it's quite big and fairly heavy. I think this is about 50 kilograms or something. Not too light and very awkward. Whew. There was a problem, however, after the guys left. When I came in to tweak everything, there was a line right across the screen. Well, after a kerfuffle with where to stand it, turned it on, and it's got a line right all the way. Can you see that? Yeah, goes all the way through the screen. There's a line. Brand new TV. It's just one of those things when you buy mass-produced stuff, but about to get on the phone and say, well, hey, you got to bring out another one. There we go. There's another shot to show you. It's a still frame on a picture to show the line there. Not good, is it? Look at that. So basically I got back onto the store manager and told him, and long story short, it was Friday at that time, I think, or Thursday. Couldn't get the guys back to deliver this version 2 until Monday. New TV version 2 in place. After much engineering. Anyway, we got there in the end. So there are plenty of videos about this particular TV. They're all software driven, unfortunately. I don't watch hardly any television, except occasionally the news, because frankly I think there's so much garbage on it, and I haven't really watched TV for well over 10 years, I think. But I do watch movies on it, and also most of the YouTube videos I watch on the TV. And there was an issue as well. The surround sound system, which was a different one, couldn't get the HDMI ARC to play through. Well, funnily I did through the first TV, but not this one, and I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours. So I've currently got it hooked up to Toslink, which is an optical out, and that works fine. I did buy another AV receiver in case it was that, but I wasn't going to buy a brand new one. So I jumped on Facebook and narrowed it down to a few, and ended up buying one off a guy that messaged me back, and he said, "Aren't you on YouTube?" And I said, "I sure am." So he recognised me from my Mount Cootha Dark Histories video. So I ended up buying it off him. Shout out to you, Sunny, very nice guy. So that's the Marantz system down there is currently wired up. As far as sound goes with this TV, it's quite good actually, although not comparable to when you have surround sound, of course. As for this TV, just quickly, there's a couple of things I don't like, which is like, if you want to switch modes, it's very slow with software. You've got that mouse thing there. Yeah, but they pretty well all have that. It's just a sign of the times. Also, I'm not a fan of the home screen. However, that's where the Amazon Fire Stick comes in. It's much quicker, and it was easy to plug in. And these are some of my favourite things I like to do with the remote control. For example, this blue button. You press that and speak a command to Alexa, which is an Amazon product, their version of Siri, etc. So you can say, "What's the time?"
The time is 11:19 AM.
Or, "What's the weather in Brisbane?"
In Brisbane, Queensland, it's 26 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast calls for more of the same, with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 12 degrees.
You can even ask it to tell you a joke. Tell me a joke.
Where do you find adventurous insects? Living on the hedge.
I don't even get that one. Or, tell me another joke.
Why was the cow always changing her mind? She was easily swayed.
That's a bad joke.
Oops, I was built without a funny bone.
Right. You just press the home button again, up the top, and you're back there. Check out the link to that at the end of the video. I swear by them, much faster response and everything. So that's it, and this is the LG TV. As far as picture quality goes, I think it's outstanding. Of course, you can adjust it any way you want. So that's it basically anyway. I just wanted to say, well, Had to get a new TV because you can say, well, do you need such a big TV? No, if I was sitting over there. Because I sit way back here to watch TV. And for a couple of weeks we had to rely on very small TV, one of the spares in the spare room, and that was really doing my head and my eyes in. Yeah. So what I'm going to say in this video, and stay tuned for a future video on this topic, when that happens I'll put a link at the end screen to it, about Australian consumer law and why you don't necessarily need to buy an extended warranty to get value for a product you buy. But it's such a long kind of a topic, I didn't want to mesh it all into one. Okay, cheers for now. Check out the links. There's also a link of a video I made quite a few years ago about China. It's another reason I didn't want a Chinese TV, so that's why I went with LG. Alright, catch you soon. Bye.